So peace to all my people in the pace, black power, strength. We are here on 125th Street, the Mecca of Harlem. They can say what they want, but this is the Mecca. People travel the world to get here, to walk on this pavement, and to walk where some of our greats have walked and come here and made their mark. But we have none other than Red Pill, and I was fortunate enough to have him here, and I said, let me just tap into this brother's great cranium and see what he want to pour on the public. So what are some of your thoughts, Red Pill? What's on your mind? Where's this world going? Please help us.
First and foremost, salute. You know, like you said, I'm just out here standing on this grid in Harlem, 25th, you know, across the street from the Apollo is the district. You know, I think people like coming up here because of the frequency. There's a frequency that's emitted when you walk through this corridor that you don't necessarily feel when you walk through other corridors in New York. Like if you're walking through the tunnel, or walking through the trains and whatnot, doors, or if you're walking through places in Brooklyn, you know, different places give you different feelings. So, you know, I'm just out here doing commerce today, building, working, but we've been having a conversation about Houston all day for that matter, as a lot of things are becoming apparent and a lot of information has been presenting itself over the past few days as we watch this event, this world event unfold before our eyes. We also want to acknowledge the fact that in Sierra Leone there's flooding.
Yes.
We also want to acknowledge the fact that in Nepal, India, there's flooding.
Yes.
We also want to acknowledge the fact that I believe in Indonesia there's flooding. We also want to acknowledge the fact that in Nigeria there's flooding.
Right. And that begs to differ. Why does one disaster get more billing than the other? Are we back at that dilemma of valuing human life, one over another?
I mean, they've always done that. You know, I don't think that we walked away from that. Not to say, yo, we're back there. No, we never left. They value certain lives over other lives based off of race, based off of social status and class, and based off of states, you know, or country affiliation, right? If Black lives didn't matter in America, imagine what they matter in Sierra Leone, where the land has been, you know, there's been worse things done to that land other than a monsoon or a flood in the name of capitalism, in the name of white inferiority, in the name of all of these things that rob the natural resources from these lands that are now falling apart and mudsliding. But you have to ask the question, what about all of the companies that have been breaking up that land? What about all of the companies that have been mining in these lands? What about all of the companies that took the diamonds and the gold out of Sierra Leone, right? And why is it that the people are still living under $1 a day in Sierra Leone, where they live in abject poverty, but resource-wise, that's one of the richest places on the planet? Along with the Congo, with the coltan, that everything of this electronic realm runs off of. This is a natural resource. This you know, it's up there with gold and diamonds, coltan, right? This is a very important resource. So, you know, we just sending energy out to the family in Houston. I have family in Houston. They've been good since day one, you know what I mean? But at the same time, there's brothers and sisters that are out there who are in the eye of that storm and who've been displaced, right? They've been gypped, they've been robbed by the insurance companies, right? And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, things of that nature. You know, and there's a lot of scams going on right now where a lot of people are not going to be compensated for their lost property.
Right. And also,
no flood insurance.
I believe the Attorney General is putting warnings out. And for those of our listeners, there are scam artists. Unfortunately, you think a time of devastation, human suffering, but there will be people who try to financially capitalize on this. So they said be very leery of people telling you things on the phone, getting your personal information, and doing X, Y, and Z. So they be aware.
Disaster is an industry. The people who showed up, these good white people who showed up on speedboats, they're going to file an invoice and get paid for that work. They're an LLC. You understand? Disaster is an industry. I did Sandy cleanup. Disaster, I was getting $29 an hour. Okay.
What?
Yeah, just to mop and to wipe the mold off of the walls, because guess what? The mold, because of the molding that takes place after floods and things of that nature, you can't inhabit a property if it's molded.
Right.
Now, if it reaches a certain point where you cannot salvage the molding, you have to destroy the property.
Exactly.
So billions of dollars of real estate is going to be destroyed in yet another black city, which was Houston. Remember, everybody was moving to Houston because they were kind of cool. They were cooling off of Atlanta, and Houston was the new destination for the mass exodus. Right? There are people who are property owners in Houston of $100, $200, $300, $500, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 homes. Beautiful estates. All right? There's indigenous land in Texas. All right? And people have rights to indigenous lands. People have rights to even oil that are aboriginal. That I bet people didn't know about that. You know what I'm saying? That the oil companies do not like cutting a check to. So when you look at the flooding of the reservoirs, when you look at what took place where no evacuation notices were given to our good people of Houston by their mayor, why? I have no idea. With the Category 5 storm, you dig what I'm saying? They hit 12 years to the day that Katrina hit. A lot of people are saying I'm saying solar eclipse. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying solar eclipse, and I'm saying that the weather, or Mother Nature for that matter, has been exemplified. You know what I mean? It's been charged up. That solar eclipse was almost like a rebirth of planetary energy. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And it's affecting it's creating natural disasters, and it's affecting the planet as we know.
Yes.
The planet, more so than the inhabitants of the planet, but we're also seeing things take place in government with these scandals, you know what I mean, with all of these rumors of, corruption, well, not rumors of corruption and rumors of collusion and things of that nature. So, you're seeing the falling of an empire before your very eyes. For those who are skeptics that are out there, you understand what I'm saying? What has been prophesied to follow solar eclipses are floods, is falling of governments, is upheaval, wars, and things of that nature. So I'm just paying attention to, I'm paying attention to the world that's around me, even though I know the effect that I have personally on the world around me. I know, you know what I mean? I know all is mental, but I also know that in the theater of, in this movie that's being played out, I know what chapter we're in. I'm being able to identify the chapter.
Right, so, and Brother Red Pill, hold that thought right one moment.
Yeah.
I want us to jump back to something I think we may have glossed over, and I think it's going to be a major issue coming up now, because we dealt with the mold issue. And I think at the time when we brought that point up, we were speaking that you were getting $29. We were speaking about the financial benefit, and you said, hey, I was just mopping and hosing down mold.
Yeah,
now, right, but I don't want to leave anyone with the impression that mold is something that I hope you were suited or you had a breathing apparatus. Okay, cool, because folks are going to be dealing with mold after this flood goes.
They're going to be dealing with
and just lastly, I'm going to turn it right over. Anyone, do not tackle mold on your own. If you ingest it or if you inhale it, it becomes very sporous and it can damage your whole respiratory system. So we did not want to leave the impression that mold is something you can just hose down. So please give more insight on the work you did, or just how that might come up in this next in this current disaster?
Yeah, well, as we know, Superstorm Sandy had impact on in New York. What was that? 2012, 11, and it didn't do nearly. It did not do one iota to the amount of damage that you've seen take place in Houston, because all of these rivers and bayous and lakes have overflowed. The releasing of water from the reservoir, 3 trillion tons of rain fell on Harris County, which is in Houston right there. 3 trillion gallons of water fell on Harris County. So the flooding that took place, the rivers crested and whatnot, the water that you're seeing, that's not just rainwater, that's river water, that's bayou water. There's snakes, crawfish, catfish, crocodiles, alligators, all of these things in that water, excrement, chemicals from the offshore rigs that are basically going out. You know what I'm saying? There's a chemical plant that exploded today, you know, that has toxic material that went into the air. You know what I'm saying? So Superstorm Sandy didn't have nowhere near that type of destruction. And I was working for Belfour. The name of the company is Belfour. Belfour is a global conglomerate. It's a global company that has profiteered off of disasters. Katrina, Sandy, anywhere there's an oil spill, anywhere there's an earthquake, them crackers get on planes and they get to them billies right there. You feel what I'm saying? They got their OSHA cards, they got their equipment, their goggles and all of these other things. They have subcontractors and they got Mexicans.
Game over.
It's game over. So they get a contract, they go and get a bid, they bid for a contract. I'm a federal contractor, put that on the record and whatnot. I go for $1 million bids, all right? I got put into the game by my sister Cheryl, who works with the brother Garfield and whatnot. They do good work. So, but that wasn't what got me the Sandy job. I got the Sandy job on my own.
Okay.
So they had us suited in plastic, you know, in rubber suits and whatnot. We had the face mask, we had the eye protection, gloves and whatnot.
Yes.
And we had a special kind of disinfectant.
Yes.
It was a special, they had to put it together.
Yes.
You couldn't just put it together like you put together, you know, your kitchen.
Regular soap and water ain't gonna get this off. That's why you gotta be suited and booted to even deal with it. Especially if you got young children, you know, 2 or younger. Or the other way, the elderly, 65, 70, they already got challenged immune systems. So that's when the second death toll goes up.
That's when the second death toll goes up, because the spores, like you said, it's sporous. So there's going to be an unprecedented amount of mold in the air in the Houston area, all the areas that experience the flooding. There's going to have to be a concerted effort by the residents or the people who are not just the residents, because like I said, you got to be careful, because this is something that you just can't go outside with a broom and sweep up. You have to be able to have the equipment on to handle
protective equipment.
But they're gonna have
an air filter. You got to go top of the line. You can't play with this stuff.
So the president, his job and his duty, if he so chooses to accept it, is to inform the public, especially the residents of the places where the floods have taken place, about the dangers that lie ahead of them. You don't do a news conference where you say, oh, nice crowd, we drew out big numbers, then you say, I pardon a felon, the sheriff of Arizona, during the hurricane, because I knew it was going to get good ratings. But you don't take enough time to tell the citizens of Texas, which is a red state, right, that the mold, the after effects, how to purify your water. You understand what I'm saying? What are some of the precautions that you should be taking in order to prepare food after a flood?
Yes.
what to do if you find yourself separated from your people. What are the places where you can sleep for the night?
Yes,
that's something, if the president doesn't do it, his spokesman should be able to do that.
Somebody on the team.
You have an incompetent administration all the way around, where they're showing you not only do they not care about you, but they're complicit in your demise.
In your demise. Straight up.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
So now, because the government is not going to cut the check, they're going to declare it a state of emergency. The governor is going to allocate, once FEMA comes in, the governor now, once FEMA comes in, your insurance claims are now null and void. They're going to allocate money to the survivors. They're going to allocate money to the cleanup, and they're going to come up with this, you know, with this number that they feel that Houston needs and all of the surrounding areas that have been decimated in order to rebuild. Then they're going to award bids to Halliburton, you know what I mean, Belfour, and all of these agencies that more than likely are not going to employ the same residents of those areas that lived in those residents in order to help them get the bag, because they lost everything. So then they're going to rebuild it with the vision of new millennials, right? Or the real estate of the new millennials and the original inhabitants of these black areas. The low-lying, low-income areas are going to be turned into playgrounds for the rich and the famous and the Europeans who want to be on that coastline, because they succeeded already with Louisiana. Post-Katrina, they've created a white paradise in the wake of Katrina. And black people who they bust out of there, the thousands of thousands, they never came back home.
Not yet.
Not yet. When is it going to come?
Exactly.
Let me know when the invite is going to arrive in the mail. Should they be expecting an email? You know what I mean? That shit is never coming. You know what I'm talking about? The Peckerwoods that took over that area. You know what I'm saying? And they doing what they doing. So the plans on doing that to Houston, I'm sure these plans are in play for the residents of Houston that don't think that that's the idea. You tell me what your plans are. You know what I mean? We should be, because I'll be going down there. I'm going to be bringing the Facts Initiative down there, and I'm going to present to the family the idea of 30,000 of them becoming investors in both themselves and their network, putting $20 on a weekly payment schedule so they could have a revenue of $600,000, or a treasury or a bank of $600,000 amongst their network. This is on a weekly basis. It's 1.2 million after the month. So, and then it increases, but you know, we're gonna bring solutions to the family that's out there. Hopefully I can get together with some of the celebrities that are out there, so they can enhance the message, because they are the trendsetters, they are the tastemakers, they are the influencers, and we need them like they need us.
And guess what? I hear they listen to us, so maybe hold on.
We need them like they need us.
Exactly.
How do they need us? Because they stop us and say, Ray, I had to come out here to come and see you. You understand? Because you're like I'm a rapper. But what y'all doing is bigger than rap. It's deeper than rap. You know what I'm saying? They like, we looking at y'all like y'all looking at us for inspiration. So one hand has to wash the mud of the flood off. It's time to stop playing shy, and different factions have to come together. If this tragedy didn't show you what unity is about, then there's no fucking hope for you. My job is done. I'm not even qualified to teach you, because your level of retardation and the calcification of your pineal gland is so severe. Your third eye has a fucking, shit is sewn shut with tattoos on the eyelid. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm dealing with a few million people who get it. Those are the people that I'm going to expend my energy on at the end of the day. There's a lot of people that identify as woke. Y'all need some teachers, y'all need some literature, and you need a narrative to follow other than being woke, so you can evolve into where, you know what I mean, and into where you need to be in order to be able to in order to be able to problem solve, troubleshoot,
Right.
and to create and
At
build.
this critical hour.
Not just looking the part, not just smelling the part with the patchouli oil. You know what I'm saying? Not just being weird for weirdo's sake. You know what I mean? Or not just saying certain kind of keywords like my melanin is popping, stay woke. You know what I'm saying? Black Twitter and you know all of these catchphrases. Black Lives Matter. Like we have to. That's good. That's great. Kindergarten, elementary school started for the children. What, today or tomorrow? That's great. There's levels to it though.
Right.
It's time to evolve to this next level. You understand? Once you evolve to this next level, it's about taking the information and applying it. Taking your numbers and doing something other than marching to complain about something. Why don't we march just to pop our collars? Why don't we rally just to put some money in the bag? Why don't we come together just to put our resources together? Why we always got to come together to sing, cry, recite a hymn? You know what I mean? Come up, read a chapter. That's called trauma-based. That's trauma-based communication. PTSD sinks in. You get frozen from fear, fight or flight, right? Fight or flight. People like to flee a lot. That's why the Mayweather fight was so big, because he decided to fight the racism. Because keep in mind, that whole fight, the foundation of that fight was built in race. Race, the race, the friction between the races.
Yes.
Right?
That fueled it. That fueled the support, the
Floyd
sales.
Mayweather, as the promoter, said, what sells better? Peace. What's gonna sell better than anything in these days and time? Oh, I'm gonna use race cards, and I'm gonna eat off of that. And he monetized the friction. He's a boxing promoter.
Exactly.
So he monetized the friction, because him and McGregor are cool. They don't got drama with each other. You saw all of that post-fight.
Right.
That's when niggas usually let up on the rules.
Yes.
He was like, nah. Then I saw pictures with them on a plane together and all of that. So he allowed McGregor to infuse and to feed his base. His base are not just white boys. His base is all of these. It was Italians, Germans, the French, the Irish, the British, the Asians, the Koreans. You know what I mean? Everybody was against Mayweather. The Indians. You understand what I'm saying? The whole world of Poindexters. All of these people who subscribe to this mentality of a superiority. The same thing, the talking points or the narrative that the alt-right people are trying to come out with, that I'm shocked and surprised. This is when we're supposed to have Fall of Voltron. Where was the scholars coming together to smash that? When the paint was fresh, you not peeling that paint. These white boys running around trying. Remember, war is ideologies, it's ideas, it's information. Right?
Yes.
That's war. 90% of war is deception.
Deception.
You understand? So war is taking place already because they're pushing a false narrative, a new narrative, and niggas are eating that. That whole Charlottesville shit was a commercial for white supremacy.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes. Straight up.
That was a fucking the Vice special. That was you don't know propaganda when you see it.
Right.
That was a commercial.
That was a recruitment drive.
That was a recruitment drive. So look at all of the haircuts that the boys in McConaughey's corner had. That was all the alt-right hit. And now these niggas got a hairdo.
Go in, Pill.
You understand?
Go
They
in.
listen to hip-hop.
Yes.
Because people is like, oh, he came out to Biggie. Nigga, they listen to hip-hop, but they hate you. They rock with your culture, but don't identify you as part of the culture. You're the lesser part of the culture that they could do without, because they vultured your culture already. They figured out how to monetize and rob and rape the culture, and they know that if they keep 20 niggas around that will dance for them, they good.
They good, yeah.
They good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Unfortunately.
They don't got a problem with it. But the rest of you niggas, so if McGregor would have won, because we so compassionate, black people are so fucking forgiving. If McGregor would have won though, niggas would have been getting hooked off on in Vegas by the white boys.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And the next day, they would have been bumping you.
Yep.
They'd have been hollering at your shorty, you know what I mean, trying to whistle at her. You know what I mean, with the alt-right hairdo, like, what's poppin'? You know what I'm talking about? And niggas would have been in a fear bag.
Exactly. Well, some now, anybody gonna roll with that now.
Fight or flight, though.
Yeah, cool,
Some decide to fight.
Yes.
Some flight. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we saw. You know what I mean? And the residents of Houston have a perfect opportunity to thwart whatever plans or whatever nefarious ideas that these developers may have to push them out of the picture by bringing their resources, putting their resources together, utilizing that relief aid, all of that money. Fuck a Red Cross, never in my life. That shit needs to go directly in the bag. Put that in Bitcoin so people could see all of the movements of that money in the transaction. Put it on a blockchain. That's how you prevent all kind of fuck shit from taking place. But that money all needs to be amongst those residents. Don't put that in no hands of some white people who's gonna decide when they're gonna cut you a check.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out.
And then also, I wanted to know, I have some Dynamite folks working with me on the editing. This is what we're gonna try to do. If you can even help me with the Red Pill, whatever legitimate numbers we can definitely verify of people that are taking donations, or to what best degree, and even anything we send, even you do your own due diligence. But if we can find folks, okay, go.
On Instagram, the brother Raspy Rolls. Pop Darby, Pop_Darby, Bun B. Shit, Beyonce even launched something. She was like, no Red Cross.
Yes, thank you.
Kevin Hart messed up with that one.
But now on Beyonce, does she have a website or something that you can go to? Do you have the name or
something?
Well, anyway, Google Beyonce. Yeah. Who else? Any other? Oh, you also. Well, I heard Kevin Hart was doing no. I'm sorry, Fox. Fox is doing a telethon, but there's a telethon. Jamie Foxx, I heard today on WBLS.
Yeah. So Black Power is Kevin Hart, Kevin Durant, Sean Combs, all of these people coming together, cutting the check, and saying with their influence, we're doing a benefit concert that we put together, and all the proceeds is going towards us. That's Black Power.
All day.
That's how Black Power is supposed to work. You know, one of the legs of Black Power. That's Black Power. That's how it works. Because these are the influencers. These are the tastemakers. These are the trendsetters. These are the American gods. All right? They heavy on social media. Let them rally the troops. Let them make it cool to say, yo, I'm going to put $25,000 up. You know what I'm saying? For my people, I believe they said Mayweather put up 200 million. You know?
Whoa.
So, is it Harp? Listen, like I said, if Harp is getting super busy, if it's hot, then the weather wars are definitely underway. You're in World War III, nigga. Like, come up with a contingency plan.
Now, and then if it isn't hard, if you can tiptoe into this with me, because you know we got to go gingerly in this Red Pill.
Yeah.
Some brothers and some belief systems. I mean, the white man's time is over. Disaster is coming, and even our present day, you know, Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I think when he says the wrath, he said God is going to do XYZ to the United States.
Yeah.
But I asked, aren't we in the eye of the storm in all of these places? If wrath is being heaped on the U.S., we are down there suffering right now. So is there a way to separate those two? If there is a wrath coming from us not, you know, getting all wrapped up in it?
Well, it's been said that when America falls, that something is going to rise. A new nation will rise out of its ashes.
Okay.
Change is violence. You understand?
Are we that?
Listen, change is catastrophic, right? Birth is bloody and it could be deadly. You understand?
Birth can be deadly.
Birth can be deadly. So, if you have been waiting for a change, if you have been waiting for a destruction of something and the revival of something else. If you have been patiently waiting for the new dimension or new reality to take form, then you got to be prepared for the old one to be destroyed and fall.
And
when it's falling, you have to be that sure of who you are in the story, what you mean to the story, and what you don't mean to the story, and who you aren't, to where you good.
Are enough of us moving to the place where we can make that choice?
With a brother on an air mattress in Houston, smoking a blunt, rolling in the floor.
Oh no!
On his air mattress,
handling his business.
Just doing him, letting the shit do.
Exactly. That's fly. That's fly.
Letting what has to be.
Yes. But I go back to that question. Are enough of us in a position where we can make that choice effectively?
Listen, it doesn't matter. Those who are meant to be in that place, that's the place that they're going to find themselves in. A goddamn solar eclipse just came about. That solar eclipse, by the way, was directly related to Nat Turner's insurrection. Not only was it related to Nat Turner's insurrection, that solar eclipse was directly tied into George Jackson's, all right, Blood in My Eyes, his prison uprising, his defiant show of force, his rebellious nature. And Dick Gregory, our beloved ancestor, made transition right around the time of the solar eclipse.
Look at the timing.
The solar eclipse. All of these people that I just named, all of that energy that it represented the toppling of a motherfucking Confederate statue. So all right in line. It represented revolution. It represented blood, change, destruction, upheaval. That's what you begin to see. You understand? That's what each one of them, because the Charlottesville thing was all in the news, and Negroes were like, not realizing that when you see the toppling, remember, this is the toppling of an icon. This is the toppling of a hero. This was the defeating of one of their champs. It's the same thing that you saw with Mayweather and McConnor, how it played out. The white man was McConnor. They embodied that motherfucker. Tariq Nasheed said it on his show. He was in Vegas. He said everybody looked like him. They were all draped in a flag, and all of the white boys looked like him. That was their great white hype. Right. The way that you defeat them is you defeat their heroes. You knock their heroes down.
Now, perfect segue. Perfect segue. I gotta segue. You gotta let me do this real quick. Now, how did he beat him? How did Mayweather beat him? He took his best. He dug into Muhammad Ali, rope-a-dope, took his best, and then walked through him the last 3 rounds. He couldn't stop Mayweather.
He beat him by showing what perseverance is. He beat him by showing the world that white boy is not white. There's no such thing as white superiority, because his hits don't faze him. He walked him down. He showed him, your hits ain't as strong as mine. Because when Son started hooking, when Mayweather's hit started, when his punch started locking in, you saw that it was all power in him. Because he was tearing him. But when the white boy was hooking, Mayweather was eating it.
Yes.
So he said, one thing about me, I could go the distance.
Yes.
So you gotta ask yourself. Right. You been getting the shit knocked out of you the first 3 rounds. That white boy came out, he been hooking on you. Can you eat that? And go the distance.
Right, and I'm gonna jump in with this.
Hold on. That is the fear of a black and more Messiah. The fact that they keep hitting us and we keep coming back. We smiling at the hits, and we know how to dodge certain things with such ease. Yo, take a selfie. I'm dodging this hit. Yo, what's happening? What's good? While they throwing shots at us, we still smiling
and winking at ringside.
Ma, what's good?
Winking at ringside.
His teeth is still white.
I got this. But also,
like, yo, they flooded, the shit flooded, the nigga was on the air mattress blowing the L.
Exactly.
They can't stop it, so.
But one thing, no. You gotta hold it. Because I yielded the first time, this is the second time. So I'm gonna bring this in. Now, listen to what McGregor said. He was so composed. He said I couldn't rattle him.
That's right.
So could you go through that and maintain your composure? I had to put that footnote in.
The first, the 4 the pre-fight press junket, right? The 4 things, the 4 stops where McGregor race baited it and made it about, he set the tone for what it was gonna be, right? When he made it about the Great White Hype.
Yes.
Because he repeated the rhetoric that started the last Great White Hype and the one that came before that. There's a certain energy or rhetoric or a narrative that you come out with that makes this shit about the races.
Exactly.
Go and watch American Gods, all right? They showed you that in that with Mad Sweeney, with the Irish man fighting the black man. You understand? He tried him. Got it? You know what I mean? So he's race baiting. People are feeding into it. He's getting at him on stage about all kind of shit.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
He's washing them. I don't know what anybody else say, but mentally.
Yes.
Because war starts as what?
Yes.
An idea.
Deception.
It's 90% deception, but it's about bluff first. It's about that talk first. Before we go and get physical, it's that talk. And he was beating his ass in that motherfucking talk.
Yeah.
But he was trying to push Mayweather's buttons. Mayweather to me was mentally defeated because I've never seen him not rebut or come back when somebody getting at him. And the white boy was getting at him.
Yeah, but Mayweather is not that verbal either.
And
now,
the white boy was utilizing talking points from the alt-right. Can't read. You wasting your money, you a dumb nigga, you don't invest no money. Here, I'm gonna give you 444 albums so you could learn something.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? All you do is just, you know, he was just getting at him on some superior shit.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I'm superior. The white boys ate that.
Yeah.
He wanted to rattle him. Cold word of composure is that nigga's he's not a savage. Like I couldn't get in his head.
Yes.
So as a people, are we allowing them to get in our head and rattle us? Are we keeping our composure in the face of adversity? Are we keeping our composure in the face of alt-right and all of these people on TV doing a rebel rousing, trying to put you in the war? They're trying to put a battery in your back so you jump out the window. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Are you allowing that, or are you basically, you know, you got your eye on the prize? Mayweather is like, yo, you know what? I'm just here for this bread. I know I'm gonna dust this white boy. So why would I let him get me out of character? Why would I let him push my button? Why would I get emotional? Why would I get emo?
Exactly.
It's like them battle rappers. Nigga talk about your mom.
Right.
I saw the Loaded Lux battle. You gotta take all them shots and not allow, not slip into your feelings. The white boy or the McGregor, you know, he was showboating, braggadocio, selling wolf tickets, talking a lot of shit. But Mayweather was so sure in his skills and in his abilities that he was like, yo, the crowd can't fight for you, and I don't got nothing to say. But when we get there, you gonna see what I came here to do. And he came there and he delivered. Were they working together? Maybe that shit was orchestrated. You know what I'm saying? But Mayweather sold.
As far as just the shit talking.
The shit talking.
Oh yeah.
He said, listen, man. I'm already rich. If you want to sell this, go ahead, you can sell it. But I'm already rich.
That was the biggest payday that McConnell has ever seen. So he said to himself, why not? I get kneed in the head. I get kicked and beat down. He's giving me the chance to step into, I invaded boxing. It will never be the same. I'm going to get out of there with 30 mil. It will never be the same. So Mayweather in the future will be promoting MMA fights. There was a trade-off that took place. And Dana White is not leaving boxing. They brought bread to the table. They brought a whole fucking... So McConnell had to bring his people with him. So Mayweather let him talk that shit. But you saw white boys taking L's, all goddamn the build up to the eclipse, because all of this is about the eclipse. Keep in mind, the build up to the eclipse. The eclipse is steeped in black power energy. The eclipse is steeped in black resistance.
That's why we're seeing the fall of America.
Right, which is coming.
With the economy getting ready to collapse.
The falling of America has been prophesied.
The rise of Asia
it's being shown to you in pockets and in different pieces, but because the media only reports the news and they're not teachers, they don't control the narrative. They're pundits and they're talking heads.
Hold this camera. Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? They're not teaching you. They're not breaking. They're not decoding. They're not lifting the veils back. That's what the community and the teachers are for. So the white boys immediately following the Charlottesville shit. You saw how soft they was from right there. The white boy, there was a video where they made the white boy take his uniform off.
Yes!
There was a video where Bun B ran up on the white boy, he dropped his flag. Nah, I was just playing, I ain't really mean it. There was a video where the white boy was crying because he had a warrant out for his arrest.
Right.
I know, but you saw the fragility, you saw the inferiority, you saw the fear.
And the psychosis.
Then there was all of these other little white boys with the tiki torches. They was on social media, oh, my family disowned me. Oh, I got fired. Oh, I didn't really mean it. Yo, they selling you wolf tickets. They're Conor McGregor, okay? If you buy into the shit, you the fucking lame. You the goofy. Nigga, these are the same kids from the playground with us. You don't remember them? You niggas afraid of them? You let them sell you the wolf ticket through the media? Did these fake-ass KKK, neo-Nazi, alt-right, fake fuckboy niggas with their hair plastered to these niggas from the, these are dudes from the chat room.
Then the boy got arrested. He was telling the woman was an agent for the government, his plans to march all over America, start all the violence. The government said, oh yeah.
If you fall into this theater, if you allow them to rock you to sleep with this fake ass psyops, you the fucking fool. The only thing that we should be taking, the only thing that we need to focus on is how are we going to build when, you know what I mean? How are we going to rebuild after everything is said and done? And how are we going to protect our women and our children? And how the black men that we find ourselves around, how are we going to put some our differences to the side and build and protect and do what needs to be done? It's about self-determination, self-reliance, self-evaluation in the self. In the South. People is like, oh, the white people is out there helping black people in Houston. That just shows, nigga, they're getting a check. They're getting that disaster relief money. Okay, it's out there. When they show up, they get the motherfucking check. They show up because they know FEMA's on the way. They know them checks is coming. There's invoices behind all that shit. Facts. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Then they taking boatloads of people, putting them on buses, and just like Katrina, they coming up missing.
Disappear.
So miss me with the bullshit. You don't need to be talking about what white people are doing for you if you niggas were focused on doing for self. That's the only reason they showing, oh, Joel Osteen is letting us in the church. What about all your black churches?
Thank you.
Fuck out of here.
Thank you. Where are the black churches?
Black people don't think that it's important to be responsible for black people's affairs, in their safety, in their well-being, in their food, clothing, and shelter. Well, goddamn it. We just gonna waste time reading up on the horror stories because they're gonna do you dirty or they're gonna treat you like a third-class citizen. And that's not what we need to be in 2017 going on to 2020. So focus on self, focus on building, focus on unifying under the principles of, you know, this shit is about to go haywire. It's just the beginning. You know what I mean? And you'll be all right. Go and read Elijah's book. You know what I'm saying? Fall of America. You know, and stop questioning the power of our elders, our ancestors. Dick Gregory is an immortal ancestor now. until the last day that he was here, he was telling you what it is. So to me, he disqualifies all of those civil rights elders and everybody else that got something to say, because that truth that he had resonates with me the most. You know what I'm saying? I walk away with his truth, knowing that, and the shit that they saying, I'm putting it on a scale like, yo, that sounds like some fluff shit. Some fuck shit to me. I don't believe it. So I don't even need to speculate, bro. That's the problem. We keep going in circles and shit. Make your mind up. What is it gonna be? And stand on that shit. Be on your Mayweather. Stand on your square.
Bro, I like that. Be on your Mayweather.
Be on your Mayweather. Stand on your square. It don't matter what's coming to you. Dodge certain hits. Motherfucking punch when it matters. Hit them with them body shots and tear their asses up. You understand?
And do it while winking and enjoying yourself through the night.
Fact.
Man, he had that under control from the first bell.
And knowing that at the end of the day, you're gonna see everybody at the platinum party. I see you niggas at the platinum party. Let me go and do this work. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
I see all my people in the crowd and all of that cool. You know, let me go put in this work, and I see y'all when it's time to celebrate.
Right,
you niggas
right,
be wanting to celebrate prematurely. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Now,
So,
can I ask you this, Red Pill, and give me your insights? Because, I get, slammed from some of my humanist leanings. Now, if at the end of the day, they both realize that this could be straight up good business on both sides. As you mentioned earlier, bring both these markets. If it was a business deal, and say what you got to say to fill those seats, to sell that closed circuit, do what you got to do, and I'll do what I have to do. And if at the end, like you said, they're at the platinum party, could that be taken at another level? The underclass, the poor white, because the 1% ain't feeling too much of them either. Or is there never any kind of
He
alliance?
didn't call it out. Mayweather's supposed to call it out. He was supposed to condemn McGregor after the fight and be like, that man shouldn't be allowed anywhere around our people. He should not be allowed to fight in boxing. He is a racist. He created race. He was creating he was damn near, race baiting.
But even if that was the agreed upon deal, if they say, hey, I'll let you go with that?
That's what I'm trying to say. That it had to be. That's why I'm looking at it.
He has to say it that way. He has to say it that way.
If it was real, Mayweather would have denounced that.
But he hasn't done that, so then maybe in that...
Too late. I mean, if there was any denouncing, it would have been done right after he defeated him.
So then did that mean it was? What, is it real or isn't it?
No, it's not.
So it's not real.
To me, it was orchestrated.
Okay, I think so too.
By the media.
So then back to my question, because
it came out of McGregor's mouth.
Right.
Fuck all of that. The media, my nigga. He got up there and he did what he had to do.
he being
Conor McGregor.
And said what he had to say.
Baiting.
Exactly.
He was race baiting.
That possibly could have been part of the agreement between him and Mayweather.
He was feeding the white. It's called identity politics.
Right, as an agreement between Mayweather knew.
I feel that Mayweather definitely was
He was on the inside
He
of it.
didn't probably know how far the white boy was
going to go. Right, you're right.
Calling him a boy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Patting him on the head.
That was insane.
Mayweather comes out and makes it rain. I'm walking around saying, yeah! That wasn't enough. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta mentally defeat your foes as well as physically.
Exactly. True.
Because that he still planted a seed in a lot of these racist minds.
Right.
He still planted. He still fucked up his image. He besmirched him.
I mean, the final say, his fist did the talking. I mean, that's the best exclamation point. But the propaganda that he allowed to get implanted.
But then it's all right. Physically, I'm stronger than you, but mentally, I'm not.
Well, no, because he beat him mentally. He took his best. All of that was tactical. All was tactical.
Science.
It was chess from the first bell. Yes.
But what I'm saying is, war, ideas, concepts, ideologies, right? Narratives. Conor McGregor was already feeding a narrative.
True.
He already was feeding an ideology of inferiority. Basically like, yo, I'm still more superior than you.
Right.
You know what I mean? People don't understand what's going on. The battle that's taking place on multiple levels. Through media, through social media, through this alt-right, alt-left thing. through the top administration, the president, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a war, it's a racial war.
Through xenophobia, through the shit that's going on in Europe with black people, the shit that's going on in Africa with black people, the things that are going on in Africa with Africans and Chinese, all of these things are at play. So I'm just saying, like, you know, we need to defeat them in the ring, but we also need to defeat them mentally. Like I said, they are prime candidates for debate of the century right now. These alt-writers and all of these people with these concepts of white superiority. Go and, you know what I mean? Like, let's get our scientists together and go embody that. You know, let's make it a big event. You know, let's put their ideologies up against ours, because that day is definitely gonna come. Malcolm X had to do it. You understand? El Malik Shabazz had to defend. He had to defend. He had to defend. You know what I'm saying? Our people amongst the best and brightest, Oxford and all of that. He had to fight the ideas that they were coming with, the eugenics. You understand? He fought white superiority intellectually. So intellectual warfare has to be acknowledged by calling every single black nationalist or black conscious institution, Nation of Islam, the Moors, everybody's on the on the Southern Defense League, terrorists, hate groups. They named all of them hate groups. So when Trump says alt-left, he's talking about all of your institutions that teach consciousness and knowledge. Peace and blessing. How are you? Greetings, indeed, no doubt. Thank you. So he's making all of your institutions where they do intellectual warfare hate groups.
That's why they're trying to ban the books. Next thing you know, they might try to ban the
beyond not trying to ban the books, they put the emphasis on the black extremist, nationalist hate groups. And when you look at the names of all of them, that's where all the information is coming from. So what I'm saying is, if you don't establish a debate amongst their groups and your intellectual groups, your information and your groups and everything gonna get droned in the future. It's gonna be outlawed. They're gonna be seen as homeland terrorists. So you won't even, if they do the paperwork on you before you do it on them, you won't even have the chance to do a fucking debate. All right? And that's what YouTube is doing with the censoring. They now have a new campaign where they're working with the ADL and they're taking videos down.
Facebook.
Not just Facebook, YouTube, where the information is being disseminated to a global audience. Where the wave, this is where the tsunami. How could you live in an Aquarian age and not expect floods? Blue Pill asked that question.
Thank you.
There's flooding like I said, Sierra Leone, floods. Nepal, floods. India, floods. Indonesia, floods. Bangladesh, floods. Nigeria, floods. Texas, Louisiana, and then they talk about the Carolinas. It's the Aquarian energy. It's a deluge. It's the Aquarian age. So the flood is flooding of information. There's a flooding of new energy. There's a flooding of water. The ocean has to cleanse itself because of Fukushima. So there's a lot of things taking place. The oil plants were getting disrupted. Mother Nature's crying. Earthquakes will ensue. What do you prepare for? And then, for my brothers and sisters in the conscious community who complain about the loss of physical worldly possessions, the fact that they, because when people come into this, they tend to begin to lose things, or I would say lighten up.
Lighten up, yes.
Begin to lighten up. So, if you, peace, now we're looking at people in Houston who have been forced to lighten up. They're refugees now. Only have in their worldly possessions what they were able to take out the house. But in doing such, they have to now reevaluate what's really important. Because now, all you have is you and your family. But you know that you can rebuild. Now, do you rebuild and do you still do what you did before with... Now, the worldly possessions.
You gotta change your mindset.
It will automatically change you.
You gotta change your mindset.
You begin to travel light. You understand?
That's it. You have to. Now
You begin to travel light. You begin to see the importance of having what is known as a survival pack, always at the door, with the food, the knife, the flashlight, all of these things. In order, if you never know, in case you had to grab it and go.
Right, they call that a bug out bag also.
And Aton Edwards and them call it a black pack. That's what Professor Griffin and them call it.
Okay.
The hammers, the Second Amendment, the guns, the ammo, the crossbows, the weapons, right? The choppers.
Yes.
The extendo to protect yourself.
Exactly.
Because if any natural disaster comes, they say the economic collapse might come next. Look at Venezuela, right? Are you prepared to defend yourself?
Exactly.
Because in Houston, they said they're kicking doors in. You know what I mean? And they're doing what happened with Katrina, where they got to put an X on every single door now.
Right, and a quick commercial for Brother Ashante. Fitness, Fuel, and Fire. Fitness, Fuel, and Fire. If you want to get your arms game up, he's a certified instructor. So this brother talk about how to defend yourself. You're going to need training. So Fitness, Fuel, and Fire, like, Brother Ashante.
You use case studies of natural disasters to sit back and say, all right, what's most important right at that moment? The TV gets thrown away. The laptop, you know what I mean? Maybe not the laptop, because you can communicate. You know, the furniture, the Raymore and Flanagan. Like, what becomes most important at that moment? A weapon.
Exactly.
A ways and means to something to eat. Like, you know, food that you could carry. Water becomes important. Medicine becomes important. Hygiene becomes important, right?
Unfortunately, access to medication. So many of our folks, yeah, they're on pharmaceuticals. So if you can't access that, yes, they need to be on herbs.
Yeah, herbs, natural, you feel me? Natural remedies, more so than I'm popping some opiates.
Yes.
Or I'm gonna pop a psychotropic that's gonna put my mind in a state, a psychotic state around a flood or around a city with no electricity or around the savages. You might want some herbs in your life. You might want to burn a bush or two. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? You might want some drops or some oils. A weapon in order, if you have a big family, if your wife is bad and bougie, you know what I'm talking about? You know, whatever is going on, you're gonna want a gun, a hammer. Because when I say weapon, I'm talking about, she got sorrow, you got sorrow? Sorrow?
Yeah, sorrow. No sorrow.
Just fruits?
Yeah, just fruits.
Let me get a mango. Let me get a mango, please.
A mango.
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 Yes. So, you know, to the farmers that are out there growing food, to the brothers and sisters who know how to dry foods and store them, like all of these things are important, as you can see, right? They all are effective in being able to survive. They call it doomsday prepping and whatnot. But if Houston shows you anything, is that we should use the example of what we're seeing. Boats and
So peace to all my people in the pace, black power, strength. We are here on 125th Street, the Mecca of Harlem. They can say what they want, but this is the Mecca. People travel the world to get here, to walk on this pavement, and to walk where some of our greats have walked and come here and made their mark. But we have none other than Red Pill, and I was fortunate enough to have him here, and I said, let me just tap into this brother's great cranium and see what he want to pour on the public. So what are some of your thoughts, Red Pill? What's on your mind? Where's this world going? Please help us.
First and foremost, salute. You know, like you said, I'm just out here standing on this grid in Harlem, 25th. You know, across the street from the Apollo is the district. You know, I think people like coming up here because of the frequency. There's a frequency that's emitted when you walk through this corridor that you don't necessarily feel when you walk through other corridors in New York. Like if you're walking through the tunnel, or walking through the trains and whatnot, doors, or if you're walking through places in Brooklyn, you know, different places give you different feelings. So, you know, I'm just out here doing commerce today, building, working, but we've been having a conversation about Houston all day for that matter, as a lot of things are becoming apparent and a lot of information has been presenting itself over the past few days as we watch this event, this world event unfold before our eyes. We also want to acknowledge the fact that in Sierra Leone there's flooding.
Yes.
We also want to acknowledge the fact that in Nepal, India, there's flooding.
Yes.
We also want to acknowledge the fact that I believe in Indonesia there's flooding. We also want to acknowledge the fact that in Nigeria there's flooding.
Right. And that begs to differ. Why does one disaster get more billing than the other? Are we back at that dilemma of valuing human life one over another?
I mean, they've always done that. You know, I don't think that we walked away from that. Not to say, yo, we're back there. No, we never left. They value certain lives over other lives based off of race, based off of social status and class, and based off of states, you know, or country affiliation.